If you've ever asked an AI to help you design course materials, you've likely encountered this: a wave of generic, identical-sounding paperwork that feels completely disconnected from your classroom. Large language models function like an eager, highly literal teaching assistant who has never met you, has no idea who your students are, and lacks any context regarding your specific field. The difference between receiving a pile of useless text and generating materials you can actually put to work depends entirely on the structural quality of the prompt you send. To see how this works in practice, we'll start with a negative baseline, using the kind of short, vague request professors often type when they're in a rush. In this interface, we're submitting a single sentence: write a rubric for a midterm essay. The result is a dense, generic block of text. It doesn't account for the course level, it doesn't know our specific grading criteria, and it doesn't understand the assignment. Without specific parameters, the AI fills the gaps with the average of its training data. This makes the output mathematically likely to be irrelevant to your specific syllabus. We use the 6-element prompt framework to build instructions that produce usable materials. We start with context, defining the environment, a 200-level European history course where students write mini-essays using primary sources. Next, we assign a role, an experienced history professor. Assigning this persona dictates the tone and the depth of the response, moving the AI away from its default helpful assistant persona. By combining context and role, we anchor the AI within your specific academic reality rather than letting it guess in a vacuum. Then we define the task, moving to a precise order. Create a grading rubric for this specific midterm exam. Next, we add constraints, which set absolute boundaries for the AI's behavior. We specify that the rubric must use exactly 4 criteria: thesis, evidence, analysis, and writing, on a 4-point scale. Crucially, we include a constraint forbidding the AI from inventing citations or references, a common issue with unstructured prompts. These constraints act as guardrails, restricting the AI's freedom to ensure the final output is factually safe and educationally sound. For the 5th element, we dictate the format. We command the AI to present the rubric as a table with specific columns and rows. Specifying the layout immediately removes the need for you to manually reformat a wall of text into a usable grid later. Finally, we can provide examples. Pasting in a rubric from a previous course is the fastest way to get the AI to match your specific pedagogical style. If we look at the full prompt now, it's significantly more detailed than our original one-sentence request. By defining the structure and style up front, we shift the labor of organizing and formatting the data onto the machine. Here is the visual contrast. On the left is the weak, unstructured prompt that failed. On the right is the same request transformed by the 6-element framework. Now, we'll execute this fully structured history rubric prompt in the chat interface. The model produces a complete, ready-to-use grading grid with clear descriptors in every cell. When viewed side by side with our baseline test, the difference is clear. The unstructured prompt produced a draft that required heavy editing. The structured prompt produced a final deliverable. Engineering a structured prompt ensures the output is accurate the first time, significantly reducing the need for manual revisions and formatting. With the rubric finished, we've successfully used the framework to generate a specific, high-quality teaching tool. This same architecture works for everything from syllabus descriptions and assignment briefs to student emails. To keep these steps in mind, you can download the quick reference card from the course materials and keep it at your workspace. Mastering this framework changes your relationship with the AI, transforming it into a reliable, precise extension of your own teaching intent.